The neighbor came to the door and started calling her son an animal just because he had dropped a block and made a little noise. To get justice for her son, the woman immediately decided to sell her flat, and that too to someone who ran a drum teaching business. A few months later, that same neighbor came to her, panicked. "Please stop this drum noise, I'm going to go crazy." Actually, all of this had started about half a month earlier when the downstairs neighbor stopped her on the way and complained, "Your son runs around upstairs every day." The woman was surprised because her son could barely run properly. Still, she apologized and said she would take care. From that day on, she gently explained to her son to play alone and walk slowly. The child became scared that even the smallest sound might turn into another complaint. Then she placed cushions, carpets, and sponges all over the house so that no sound would be made. But even after doing all this, the neighbor started taunting her again in the group chat, even calling her son a small animal. Hearing this, the boy started blaming himself, and the mother, despite being angry, tried to comfort him. Soon, the downstairs woman gathered other neighbors and started calling the child ill-mannered and troublesome in front of everyone. Even in the group chat, people began speaking against the woman and her son. That's when she realized that arguing with these people was useless. A few days later, the neighbor came banging on her door shouting, "I want justice." At that moment, the little boy got scared and hid behind his mother. She controlled herself, told her son to cover his ears, and went out to face everyone. Calmly, she explained how she had placed cushions, carpets, and sponges throughout the house just to suppress the sound of a small child. But the neighbor didn't listen. Instead, she started acting, saying, "I have a heart condition, I am a victim." Hearing this, the others began pressuring the mother again. "Show some understanding, she's sick." That was the breaking point for the woman. In anger, she said, "Show your hospital reports, and all of you stop pretending that this is right." With no proof, the neighbor fell silent and left, but not before threatening her. When she returned home, her son said, "Mom, I'm sorry, this is all because of me." Hearing this broke her heart. She hugged him and thought, "I couldn't protect my child." At that moment, she decided that no one would hurt her son anymore and no one would trouble them again. She took her next step immediately. She called an agent. "I want to sell this flat right away." Looking at the house, she remembered her dreams, but now she just wanted to leave. The agent started praising the flat. "Great location, good lighting, you'll get a good price." But she interrupted him. "I want it sold within a week, even if it's 10% below market price." Then she placed 3 conditions. 1. Full payment at once. 2. Simple paperwork. 3. A buyer who doesn't care about neighbors. The agent was shocked. Then she calmly added, "I want a buyer whose habits are a bit strange and whose nature is even stricter." The agent understood and said, "I'll find the right person." Meanwhile, the neighbor continued sending nasty messages in the group, even calling her a burdensome widow. That word hurt even more because now it wasn't just about her son, it had reached her late husband. These people will never stop, she realized, no matter how tolerant she tried to be. But this time, she wasn't going to stay silent. She decided that every insult would be answered, and then she called the agent again and reduced the price of the flat even further. Subscribe for next part.